Today I submitted a report to the UK Serious Fraud Office. Once again, this will be the third time that I've done it at least, but once again reporting the fraud of Abu Dhabi 2021. This is evidencing that and demonstrating to you this is what I'm doing, and hopefully some of you will be willing to do something similar. In doing this, it does expose me to potential harm. The people that have perpetrated this effectively are above the law, and they will do whatever they can do to protect their position. Okay, they are at serious risk of a huge consequence. Huge. Okay, this is far, far greater than the post office scandal in the UK. The consequences for the perpetrators of this are huge, and those that will expose it are putting themselves at risk to expose it because the perpetrators will want to silence that. They've managed it so far. Because they have control of the media, that is why you do not hear this in mainstream media, because they're controlled. Okay? Governments aren't doing anything about it. Wealth controls governments. If you've got enough money, you influence government, and then government won't set onto these people the people that are tasked to investigate their criminality. This is how disgusting this goes. I know this because I've learnt this over the course of the last 2 years. Okay, so once again, I'm demonstrating to you all that I am reporting this fraud to the UK Serious Fraud Office. So far, having had at least 2 reports of this, they have done nothing. They are accountable. If any harm comes to me, they are accountable. The UK government is accountable. And this needs to be on YouTube as evidence that this is what I'm doing, and you are putting me at risk as a result of this. Before I get into I actually recorded me completing the form, but the audio, I've messed around with the audio settings on the recording side of things, and it didn't turn out on the audio. So I'm going to show you what I did, and then I'll show you how I completed that form, and I hope some of you can complete a form in a similar manner. Before I do, just let me show you a few things. I put this video out earlier today, and what it exposes in detail is the fact that Martin Brundle and David Croft were lying about the rules before the rules were broken, and were telling you that the rules were going to get broken before they were broken. Okay, people don't understand that. Okay, they cannot get their heads around the fact that Brundle and Crofty of Sky Sports F1, the media company, were telling you and conditioning you to expect that the rules were going to be broken before they were actually broken. And this was on lap 56. We're told, oh, it was just Michael Massey made a mistake under pressure, because on lap 56 you've got this message of Christian Horner going, we only need 1 racing lap. Oh, so that's putting Massey under pressure, and later that lap Massey folds to the pressure and decides to just create this 1 racing lap. On lap 56, Brundle and Crofty are lying about the rules, telling you this is going to happen. People don't understand that. So if you've not already seen that video, please do so. But importantly, please share it. The reason being, the way this works on social media and on YouTube is that I know this video isn't going to get far. When I release a video, you can usually tell within the first hour whether or not it will be seen by a big audience. Some videos get to 600 or 800 views within the first hour. This video was released about 4 hours ago, and it's had just 1,000 views after about 4 hours. 5 hours now, all right? 1,002 views. Now, what will it say there? Let me just refresh this, actually. Head. You take so there we go. Let me just zoom in on this bit. F1 crime ring for race fixing. 1,002 views, 203 likes. So it's got an over 20% like ratio, and YouTube doesn't see fit. It doesn't work on the YouTube algorithm that YouTube recommends this video to people. A video that over 20% of people who've seen it say, yeah, this is good information, oh, that doesn't trigger the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, this thing that we're led to believe causes the extra views. Well, no. Strange, isn't it, that some videos can get to 30, 40, 50,000 views, and yet some videos, they tend to get to about 1,000, 2,000, and then they die a death. That's important information in this video. The world needs to see it, but it's not going to get seen. So if you can, please share that one. I've referenced this video in my report to the Serious Fraud Office. So please, if you can help by sharing that video, it would be very much appreciated. Okay, the other thing that I want to expose is this. I'm only showing you this because I don't want to include my email details, because we know what people are like in this world. I'll get bombarded and people will do what they do. Friday, the 30th of December 2022 at 1500 hours over here, that shows you the timestamp and date stamp of when this response was replied to me from the UK Serious Fraud Office. This is just one of the responses that I got for one of the times that I reported this to them. And it will say something like, thank you for your referral to the SFO. Please note that if you have not been contacted by our team within 20 working days, your allegations or referrals likely did not, whatever. Please assume in that case that you will not receive a response to your report. I got a phone call back from somebody from the UK Serious Fraud Office, a Cockney sounding gentleman that clearly didn't understand about Formula One, clearly had no interest in Formula One, and despite me explaining to him the nature of the fraud, his suggestion to me was that perhaps I watched a different sport. That is the level of professionalism that you can expect from the UK's Serious Fraud Office, a government agency tasked, mandated to investigate crime, investigate and bring to justice the crime of fraud. Now, let me just take you to their website before we go on into the referral that I've made to them, the report of the crime that I've made to them. So, this is the Serious Fraud Office website, www.sfo.gov.uk, a .gov website, a UK government website, the Serious Fraud Office. All right, fighting fraud, bribery and corruption, delivering justice, protecting the UK economy, right? Oh, but if something's generating money for the UK economy, you know, even if there's a little bit of tax revenue coming in, you'll just leave that alone, won't you? You'll leave that alone. So, if you go to About Us, it will tell you what they do. About Us, what we do. The Serious Fraud Office is a specialist prosecuting authority tackling top-level, serious or complex fraud, bribery and corruption. We are part of the UK criminal justice system covering England, Wales and Northern Ireland, but not Scotland, the Isles of Man or the Channel Islands. Isn't it strange that as a country we've got this crime prevention, crime investigating unit that don't cover all of the whole country? Strange that, isn't it? We take on a small number of large economic crime cases, but not all. But not all, lads. You know, crime is crime, surely. Yeah, rules are rules. Yeah, but we only investigate a few of them that we want to investigate. That's a bit weird, isn't it? We take on a small number of large economic crime. This is their own website telling you that they take on us. We investigate a few crimes. You don't investigate all crimes. Any crime doesn't mean all crimes. Is that right? Who decides that? What's that all about? What's the criteria? So let's just go for it. The director may investigate any suspected offence which appears to him on reasonable grounds to involve serious or complex fraud, bribery or corruption. So we're reliant upon the director of this government organisation deciding whether or not he or she chooses to investigate the crime that's being reported to them or not. Does that sound corrupt to you or what? I guess it all depends whether the perpetrator of the crime attends the same Freemasons brigade as the director of the UK Serious Fraud Office. Because if he's chums or if she's chums with anybody within Formula One or anybody within the media, or maybe goes on the same royal hunts as Martin Brundle and David Croft, we'll overlook this one. We won't bother to investigate that one. We'll just investigate the ones that we choose to investigate and not, because we only take on a small number of large economic crime cases. What happens to the other ones? They're allowed to go untackled. Who decides that? Oh, it's just the director. Okay, the director will take into account whether to authorize an investigation, the harm that may be caused to the public, the reputation and integrity of the UK as an international financial centre. Oh, so this might damage the integrity of the UK as an international financial centre, or the economy and prosperity of the UK. So, because the sport of Formula One is a UK registered company, and because 7 of the teams involved in the fraud are based in the UK, well, shall we expose that as a fraud or not, as the UK Serious Fraud Office? Oh, that might crime's crime. Crime is crime. Who is being damaged by this? Well, that would be the entire population as being defrauded by the crime. That's your job to do. It's not to consider the monetary aspects of this, is it? Crime is crime. Money is money. We've not got, well, we shouldn't be having a monetized justice system, should we? Oh, it's all about whether the crime impacts the money. If the crime impacts the money, it depends how the crime impacts the money as to whether we investigate the crime. Is that how we're set up as a society? Crime's only investigated if it affects the money side of it in the right way. Strange that. What has this actual organisation been set up to do? Rather strange. Rather strange. Who and what the UK Serious Fraud Office choose to investigate. Crime is crime. This is a serious fraud. This is a global fraud that defrauded 108.7 million people who are watching that event live. It is mind conditioning. This is the media getting into the minds of people to convince people of a lie so that people, perpetrators of this, can make billions of dollars. That's a huge fraud. And does the Serious Fraud Office decide whether or not to investigate this fraud? Oh, will that do somebody reputational damage? Are they a friend of the director? Are they part of the same brigade of industry pioneers, industry captains, billionaires club at the country club? Tell us the director of the Serious Fraud Office. But they are a professional organisation, which I will show you now. Contact us. So if you want to make a complaint to this bunch of jokers, you've got to click contact us. So you click on that and it will go, find the right place to report your information. Well, clearly this is the place where you're told you need to go to report a fraud. So you click on that. And then it comes up with this screen here, reporting serious fraud, bribery and corruption. And you've got the different categories. And it'll go, I want to provide information about a case of serious or complex fraud, bribery or corruption affecting several victims, harming the wider public. Okay, because that's what it's done. So, because it's defrauded each and every one of us. Okay, and so you click on that, making the report, you scroll down, whistleblowers, protecting your identity and sharing your information. I am at risk for reporting this, for exposing the perpetrators who are criminals and will do everything within their power to protect themselves and protect their assets. They will try and silence me. Okay, they will try and silence people. We saw what happened with somebody at Boeing when somebody at Boeing was exposing Boeing for their criminality. They ended up dead. Strange that, isn't it? So I am at risk. Serious Fraud Office, what are you doing about it? UK government, what are you doing about it? So you click on Secure Reporting Form. Click on that. And then what? So we get the UK Serious Fraud Office form, making a report. In order to assist us, you've got to fill in the form. And as you fill in the form, the first thing you've got to do is answer question 0. This is the level of professionalism we are dealing with. Question 0. Are you an employee? Are you employed by a shareholder of a business or corporate entity and wish to report potential serious fraud or bribery? So I've selected no for that. I'm going to take you through my recording now to show you the actual answers that I gave. But this is the level of competency that we are dealing with the UK government funded organisations to deal with criminality. Question fucking 0. You employ, sorry, said the wrong way, didn't I? If you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Okay, that is what it is all about. We have these so-called organisations that are tasked with enforcing rules and regulations in this country. We're supposed to have regulatory bodies. We're supposed to have crime-fighting agencies. They pay them, what, 30, 40 grand a year, the employees of this. So you've got a choice when you leave school and you go into education and then you get yourself out into the job market. You can go and get a job in the City of London committing financial crime and earning yourself £250,000 a year plus, or you can be on the other side fighting crime for £30,000 to £40,000 a year. What would you like to do? I wonder. So you wonder where the mastermind brains go. They go chasing the money, don't they? And then you've got people of limited competence then tasked with the job of trying to outthink those that are perpetrating the crimes. You wonder how is this system working? How come these criminals manage to evade getting caught? How come these criminals manage to evade consequence for their criminality? Oh, because we've got people working in the Serious Fraud Office that put together these forms with question 0. That's the kind of competency we're dealing with the UK funded organisations tasked to deal with this level of thing. This is what we're dealing with. Anyway, I'm going to take you through the form as I filled it in. I completed that form, I think I said film there. And this is what I got at the end of it. Success. My form had been submitted, and this is the reference number C689CA5DA7FBDAD. If any of you want to submit a form to them, you're welcome to quote that number. You're welcome to say you too are adding your name to this report of a serious fraud. So this is evidence that I have submitted this to the UK Serious Fraud Office. I've also got an email response today, similar to the one that I just showed you that I received on the 30th of December 2022, confirming that I have made this report to the Serious Fraud Office. And let's see if they respond. If the director determines whether this is a fraud worthy of them investigating, or whether this involves one of their chums or the financial interests of one of their chums at the Freemasons Brigade, and whether or not to investigate that fraud or not, or whether he thinks it might harm the UK economy, because it's all about the money, isn't it? It's all about the money. Anyway, I'm going to show you the form I filled in. So it was this video here. And what I do, I pretty much went through what I've already just done, and spoke a lot of the time without realising my audio wasn't there. So I went through all of this, and I'll show you reporting the fraud. Let me just get you to the questions. So here they are. Went through the fact that there is a question 0 on there. So I answered no to that. Okay. Question 2. I have personally suffered harm or financial loss as a direct result. because I have. I've suffered harm and I've suffered financial loss. I've suffered a tremendous amount of abuse as a result of them perpetrating that fraud. There is a lot more to come on that because the amount of damage done by what has taken place is absolutely obscene. Question 3 asks for your personal details, and so I went over that because obviously I don't want my personal details appearing on here. So I then get to question 4, and on question 4 it asks to provide a summary of the allegations. Now, bearing in mind, I've submitted this information at least twice, and they've done nothing about it. There comes a time whereby enough of the pleasantries, enough of the niceties. You need to kick people in the mind. You have to make them stand up and take notice. So this is what I wrote. Hopefully, you'll see me move the cursor now. Sorry, scroll. Here we go. The sport of Formula One has committed a global fraud, which I have fully evidenced in videos presented on my YouTube channel, Fix, spelled F1XED. I have contacted you before. One of your employees/agents suggested that I should watch another sport. Check your records and phone recordings. It is your duty to bring the perpetrators to justice. I'm going to continue to fight to do so, and your inaction is jeopardizing my safety. If I suffer any harm, the blood will be on your hands, that of the UK government and the perpetrators, Liberty Media, Formula One, the FIA, Sky TV, the BBC and other media, along with every Formula One team. Watch the videos that I have sent you via Twitter and on my YouTube channel, evidencing fraud. Do the job that you are paid to do. Okay, so that was question 4. And then we'll see if this, there's question 5, connected individuals. I didn't fill any of that in because all of those individuals will become apparent as you go through my videos, and the organisations were just listed above anyway. Same with, so we come down to question 7. Question 7 says, please provide an estimate of the scale of the criminality. Okay, and I've put at least $4.8 billion because that is the level that Liberty Media's share value increased by during that fraudulent 2021 season. But the knock-on growth as a direct result of the fraud equates to far more. The monies that we're actually talking about is far greater than $4.8 billion. Okay, so that's what I've put in question 7. Question 8 says, please explain how you became aware of these allegations. And I've put, I have a brain and can see. This crime was perpetrated in front of every single one of us on the television. We were lied to. I know how things work. Those people telling us how things were going to work were lying about it. I know what I'm talking about. I can evidence all of the things that they are lying about. All of the parties that are lying. So that is how I became aware. Strange that, isn't it? So, get to question 9. Probably have to wait for this pre-recording to catch up. Which says, question 9, do you already have in your possession any documentation or other evidence to support the allegations? And I've put yes to that. And I've put video evidence publicly available. The crime was perpetrated in front of our eyes. Media conditioned 108.7 million viewers to believe it as being possible. Here is the breakdown of it, and I've put a link to the video that I referenced at the start of this. So please watch it and please share that one because it's vitally important that people see what is in that video. Question 10. Have you reported this to any other agency in the UK or overseas? And hopefully, in fact, what I'll do, I'll fast forward this a little bit, my previous recording. I'll fast forward this just a little bit more. Why has it done that? Let me just pause this recording. We're back. Question 10. So, have you reported this to any other agency UK or overseas. So I put yes. All right. Have I gone past that? FBI, Interpol, the UK Serious Fraud Office, the UK Police. None of you corrupt bastards. Let me just go back there, show you. None of you corrupt bastards are investigating this fraud. I wonder why. Who really controls what government agencies actually investigate? And we'll see what we've come down. Billionaires controlling the justice system. If you have enough money, law enforcement agencies don't touch you and you can perpetrate fraud. Is that how it works? Okay? Because that's the truth of it. I know this because this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. Get it through your heads. The economic UK collapse caused by Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng was insider trading. Kwasi Kwarteng spoke about what his economic policies were going to be with hedge fund managers, with economists, so-called economists, and people involved in the financial industry. They went away, did their trades in the directions that they want. Kwasi Kwarteng then announced to the world what he was going to do, and what happened? The UK's economy collapsed, and all of his chums that he told what he was going to do, they made lots of money. Who pays the price? Us. Who made the billions? Them. That's a crime. Is the UK Serious Fraud Office doing anything about that? Is the UK Serious Fraud Office doing anything to recover those funds so that we are not left with that debt burden? No, they're not, are they? No, they are not. They're enabling that. Do your job. But oh no, it's made certain people very rich. Maybe it's the director of the UK Serious Fraud. Maybe it's his chums from the Freemasons Lodge. Who knows? Who knows? These people who this system is working for, these people who are making lots of money and living a lovely lifestyle, if that system is working for you and you can get away with it, you're going to want to maintain that, aren't you? You're not going to want to make this system work as it should be working. No, you're not, are you? Anyway, question 11. Is there any information that might be relevant? And I've put yes. Do your job. You are mandated to investigate crime, not just turn a blind eye to it. And then I think these letters here are when I've stopped and paused the recording and had the cursor there. You aren't here to enable corruption, or is this just a facade too? And I do correct that as I go through this video. So that was question 11. Let me carry on down across here and see where we get to. Question 12. Do you have any concerns relative to your personal safety as a result of reporting this information, or are you concerned about the immediate safety? Please contact your local police force, as the SFO is not monitoring these forms in real time. Well, does it monitor them at all? Who knows? So I have put yes. I don't know whether. Let me see whether. Let me go back here. Sorry, it's a bit bitty. It's trying to. I wish my original recording would have come out properly, but it hasn't. But I'm trying to. There we go. The text box for question 12, right? Clearly, government doesn't really run the country or hold those who are mandated to investigate and punish crime accountable. So who does? Those with extreme wealth who influence government got their wealth by what means? Okay? And it's true. If you've got wealth, you influence government to set government policy, and governments don't act for the people to manage the country and the affairs of the country in the best interest of the people. Governments create policy that enables big businesses to make billions out of that country's population. That's disgusting. Those people that have gone into government, they get backhanders. They end up extremely wealthy themselves. Oh, they become consultants on £10,000 a day. Oh, yeah, look how many MPs want to charge out their services to lobby for your company at £10,000 a day. Oh, they don't want to say it like that, though, do they? They don't want to say it like that, but that's the truth of it. Those with extreme wealth who influence government got their wealth by what means? And it will scroll down in a second. Come on, stop messing me around. Just take this forward a little bit more. There we go. And what will they do to protect it? And who will they pay to enforce their will? This is what we're up against. We are up against, effectively, gangsters, mafia-run style organisations that control government, control the fact that these crime enforcement agencies, these law enforcement agencies, pick and choose which crimes it is they're going to investigate and which crimes it is that they're going to punish or not punish. Is that what applies to you and me? Do they pick and choose whether or not they're going to investigate a crime that you or I have perpetrated? But they do for the big business. Oh, we won't touch that one. We'll let them off with that. We'll turn a blind eye to that one. Depends who's chums with who, I guess. And then I scroll down to personal information and then click submit. Okay, that is all evidenced on this form. You'll see if I take this forward, you might even see me clicking submit. Let me see that frame there. So if you watch this forward, you'll see there you go, that's the arrow, clicking submit. Tell you that, there you go, click submit, and then it processes like this. It goes around for quite a bit, takes a bit of time, that does, and eventually we get to there, success. And this is the submission and the fact that the form has been submitted. Now you need to understand, this is what we're dealing with. I know that this is what we're dealing with because this is what I'm experiencing. You've seen that I've reported the fact that Red Bull incited racial hatred against Sir Lewis Hamilton with what they did at Silverstone 2021, vilifying a guy, which then caused Lewis Hamilton to suffer horrendous racial abuse by vilifying the wrong guy and painting a picture that he'd done something that was an atrocity when it absolutely wasn't. That is inciting racial hatred by falsely presenting somebody to have been a perpetrator in a situation. Nothing got done about that. Police don't want to know. Yet, you know what incitement is. We all do. Oh, but yeah, we'll turn a blind eye to that one. This is where we're supposed to report crime to, and the crime isn't being looked at. That's a problem. What are we dealing with in this world? What kind of a world do we live in? It's a facade when we're supposed to have a government and we're supposed to have these government-run organisations that are tasked to deal with this, then they don't deal with it. There's something wrong there, isn't there? There's something wrong there. This is the level of corruption we're dealing with. The media will not touch this. Why is that? The media is there to condition your mind to believe things to be what they are, the way that they say them. That is what it's there for. That's why we all in the UK have to pay our BBC licence fee. So we have to pay the BBC for us to be mind-fed, okay, their lies. So that we all are mind conditioned to believe the things to be the way that they want us to believe them to be. That isn't the truth. I'll take you through my emails one day. I will take you through the tens of emails I've sent to the BBC evidencing them the truth. I've contacted Panorama. I've contacted so many forms of media to say this is the truth of this. Not a single one has exposed it. Not a single one. I've contacted multiple crime agencies. Not a single one has done anything about this. Not a single one. This is the world we live in. It is truly disgusting. And if you're resigned to this, think about it this way. Your children are growing up in this world. This is the level of corruption that is going to impact their lives. This is the things that's going to inhibit their chances in life. A system that enables the corruption, it enables those with the billions to keep perpetrating their crimes, it enables them and their friends and their families to live their lives, the lives of a billionaire, and it keeps you exactly where you are. The carrot keeps being dangled. You too could be successful. If you keep trying and keep playing by the rules, you too, this could one day be you. And the truth is, it's not. It's part of a corrupt system. It's a part of a corrupt system where they're in control of it and they're not held accountable for their actions and crimes. And they've got control of the media to turn your attention elsewhere and to get you focusing on being outraged about something that they tell you is impacting your life. Something that they tell you is really having a negative impact on your life, and that's what you should be outraged about, whilst they continue committing their crimes, making billions, and nobody's holding them to account. And that's the truth of it. And organisations such as the UK Serious Fraud Office should be doing something about it. But go and look on their website. They only pick and choose what they want to investigate depending on whether the director is friends with the perpetrators or not, I guess. And that is that is corruption on the highest scale, isn't it? And if you want to come at me, the director of the UK Serious Fraud Office, you're going to have to justify why you've not investigated this crime. You've got to justify that, because otherwise you're demonstrating that you are corrupt. You don't like being called corrupt? Don't be corrupt. Do your job. Investigate the crime, a clear crime, a global crime to the magnitude of $4.8 billion and more. That needs investigating. Do your job. Stop being corrupt. Disgusting. Everybody else, thank you for watching this video. Please share the content of my YouTube channel. Okay. What is happening here in the sport of Formula One is just a micro example of the greater corruption that is actually going on in the UK and in the world, and it needs exposing. It needs to wake people up. The example in Formula One is something that will wake up many people. Many people need to truly realise what is actually going on. In trying to expose this, it puts us in harm's way. Please help. Please help. Thank you for your time.